Alright, welcome back. This is, it's been like a month since I've done one of these, so I think I actually took down chapter 18, and you have to excuse me, I got a little bit of a nasal congestion. So I'm going to recap chapter 18 because I'm not spending another hour reading that. So, he's in the boiler room looking through the hotel's history, and there's a lot of changes, ownership changes, things like that. It goes to several different companies. Turns out that there's one person who owns all those companies, and he's Horace. Horace Derwent. Then he finds out that there was like mafia executions and things like that happened in the hotel, and he's reading one of them, and I'm gonna go through this article right quick because it's at the end of the chapter. Hold on, this is really bad. Oh, I mean, you know what? My nose is really bad. Hold on, I'll get it with my shirt. It didn't help at all. Okay. Gangland style shooting at Colorado hotel. Reputed crime lord shot at Mountain Key Club. Two others dead. Sidewinder, Colorado, UPI. 40 miles from the sleepy Colorado town, a gangland style execution has occurred in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. The Overlook Hotel, purchased 3 years ago as an exclusive key club by Las Vegas firm, was the site of a triple shotgun slaying. Two of the three men were either the companions or bodyguards of Vittorio Golini, also known as the Chopper, for his reputed involvement in a Boston slaying 20 years ago. Police were summoned by Robert Norman, manager of the Overlook, who said he had heard shots and that some of the guests can't breathe. I always get like nasal congestion after I eat. I don't know what it is. Reported two men wearing stockings on their face and carrying guns had fled down the fire escape and driven off into a late Model 10 convertible. State Trooper Benjamin Moorer discovered two dead men, later identified as Victor T. Borman and Roger McCossie, both of Las Vegas, outside the door of the presidential suite, where two American presidents stayed. Inside, Moore found the body of Golini sprawled on the floor. Golini was apparently fleeing his attackers when he was cut down. Moore said Golini had been shot with heavy-gauge shotguns at close range. Charles Grodin, the representative, the rep can't speak. I'm so rusty right now. The representatives of the company which now owns the Overlook could not be reached for. Below the clipping in can't breathe. Below the clipping, in heavy strokes of a ballpoint pen, someone had written they took his balls along with them. Jack stared at that for a long time, feeling cold. Whose book was this? He turned the page at last, swallowing a click in his throat. Another column from Josh Branniger, this one dated early 1967. He only read the headline. Notorious Hotel sold following murder of underworld figure. The sheets following that clipping were blank. They took his balls along with him. He flipped back to the beginning, looking for a name or address, even a room number, because he felt quite sure that whoever had kept this little book of memories had stayed at the hotel. But there was nothing. He was getting ready to go through all the clippings, more closely this time, when a voice called down the stairs. Jack? Hun? Wendy. He stared almost guiltily, as if he had been drinking secretly and she would smell the fumes on him. Ridiculous. He scrubbed his hand. He scrubbed his lips with his hand and called back, "Yeah, babe, looking for rats." She was coming down. He heard her on the stairs, then crossing the boiler room. Quickly, without thinking why he might be doing it, he stuffed the scrapbook under a pile of bills and invoices. Alright. He stood up as she came through the arch. "What in the world have you been doing down here? It's almost 3 o'clock." He smiled. "Is it that late? I got rooting around through all this stuff trying to figure out where the bodies are buried, I guess." The words clanged back viciously in his mind. She came closer, looking at him, and he unconsciously retreated a step, unable to help himself. He knew what she was doing. She was trying to smell liquor on him. Probably she wasn't even aware of it herself, but he was, and it made him feel both guilty and angry. "Your mouth is bleeding." "Yeah."
Can I play your game?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm reading a book.
How are you reading looking at that?
That's a video. It's recording. "Your mouth is bleeding," she said in a curious flat tone. "Huh?" He put his hand to his lips and winced at the thin stinging. His index finger came away bloody. His guilt increased. "You've been rubbing your mouth again," she said. He looked down and shrugged. "Yeah, I guess I have. It's been hell for you, hasn't it?" "No, not so bad. Has it gotten any easier?" He looked at her. He looked up at her and made his feet start moving. Once they were actually in motion, it was easier. He crossed to his wife, and slipped an arm around. More. No, go ahead.
And he slipped his wife into his hand.
He slipped an arm around her waist. He brushed aside a sheaf of her blonde hair and kissed her neck. "Yes, where's Danny?" "Oh, he's around somewhere. It started to cloud up outside." "Hungry?" He slipped a hand over her taut, jeans-clad bottom with counterfeit lechery. "Like the bear, madame." "Watch out, slugger. Don't start something you can't finish." "Oh, is that a cheap shot? What is that? It's got ED or something." Fig, madame?" he asked, still rubbing. "Dirty pictures?" I can't do a French accent without going into Andy Kaufman's vodka. "Unnatural positions?" As they went through the arch, he threw one glance back at the box where the scrapbook, whose, was hidden. With the light out, it was only a shadow. He was relieved that he had gotten Wendy away. His lust became less active, more natural as they approached the stairs. "Maybe," she said, "after we get you a sandwich." She twisted away from him, giggling. "That tickles." "It tickles nothing like Jacques Torrance would like to tickle you, madame." "Lay off, Jacques. How about a ham and cheese for the first course?" Everybody wants in. They went up the stairs together. Shaq didn't look over his shoulder again, but he thought of Watson's words. Every big hotel's got a ghost. Why? Hell, people come and go. Then Wendy shut the basement door behind them, closing it into darkness. Alright, that was the last bit of 18, and I'll be right back with 19.